The real estate market in Los Angeles has shifted. So if you want to sell your home in 2025, here are the top 13 things that you need to do to make sure you maximize your profits. Number one, price it right. Pricing is going to be everything in 2025 because our market has shifted. We have 30% more inventory. Our interest rates are above 7%. And there's a lot of buyers who are on the sidelines right now. So pricing your home right is going to be really, really critical. Otherwise, it's going to stay on the market a long time. One of the things that I see that is really scary for sellers is pricing your home below market value. I know that is very counterintuitive, but in our marketplace, because we have high buyer demand, even with interest rates at 7%, you're going to see multiple offers come in on that property. When you get multiple offers, they tend to go above their asking price in order to compete for that property. So if you want 50 buyers to compete for your home, price it really aggressively under market, and then you'll get multiple offers that drive that price up. I know it's really a scary prospect, but I see this happen over and over in our market, and it actually does work. Number two, partner with the right agent. You want to make sure that the agent that you're working with has experience in your local area and understands what they're talking about. There are so many agents who are brand new or who have never sold a home before or have sold 1 or 2 homes a year. You don't want to put your biggest assets into the hands of an inexperienced agent. Make sure that they have a marketing strategy that's clear and detailed and understands what is going on in your local neighborhood. I just updated my 2025 seller's guide. It's completely free and it goes over all of these items that I'm going to talk about in this video. But if you want to see it in writing, just click on that link and I'll email you over a PDF copy. Number 3, you want to maximize your curb appeal. Curb appeal is absolutely critical when you are making a first impression. If you are a buyer and you walk up to a property and there's a dead grass there and then the front door needs to be repainted, your immediate impression of the property will go down. And as soon as that happens, the money that they're willing to offer starts to go down as well. In order to maximize your profits, you want to make sure that your curb appeal is absolutely stunning. Spend the money on fresh sod, fresh flowers, repaint that front door, and make sure that when somebody walks up to the property it is absolutely pristine. Number 4, deep clean and declutter. I can't tell you how many times I've walked into a property and there's dirty dishes in the sink or there's laundry on the bed. It just gives the impression that you don't really care about selling your home, and it makes a big impression on the buyer, and they probably will not fall in love if they're dealing with dirty dishes in the sink. So make sure that when you're also decluttering your house, remove personal items from the property. The reason why you want to do this is because you want to give the buyer permission to envision themselves in your home. If you have a bunch of pictures of you and your family all around the property, it feels like they're invading your space instead of envisioning themselves in your house. So make sure you deep clean and declutter. That's a really, really important one. Also, it looks so much better in photos, which brings me to number 5, professional photos and videos. 90% of buyers start their search online and the first thing that they'll look at are photos. If you have an agent who is doing listing photos with their iPhone, fire them immediately and hire a different agent, because that is not going to cut it. Homes start in the $900,000, close to $1 million price range. So they expect really good photography. And don't forget to do videos on your property. Listings with videos tend to sell a lot faster than homes without listing videos. And this is a great way to highlight features in your property. Number 6, stage your home. I know it is an additional expense, but I promise you it will make a big difference when you are putting your home on the market. Like I said, LA is a pretty sophisticated market and it's a very expensive market, and people want to buy into the dream. If you have staging in place, this really enables them to envision themselves in your property, and it completes the dream of home ownership. Number 6, timing actually does matter. Anytime that I list a property, I like to put it on the market midweek, Tuesday or Wednesday. That way it gives time for the weekend buyers that are going to look at properties to put that on their list and then see it this following weekend. Typically, the most amount of buyers come on the market during spring and summertime. That's when families are moving and things need to happen during that summer break for a lot of people with kids. And that is when seasonally the most amount of transactions happen during spring and summer, and then it tends to go down during the fall and the winter months. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't list your home in the fall or the winter time, but pricing is going to be even more critical when you are listing your home in the fall or winter months. Number 8, pre-listing inspections. Now, some real estate agents don't like to do this because once you do your inspections and you find things out in the property, you have to disclose everything that you found in the property. But I think this is a really great idea because you can address any kind of issues before you put it on the market. And let's say you do the strategy where you price the home under market and you get multiple offers. If you're able to provide those reports to buyers, they're going to be way more willing to submit a higher offer because they know exactly what they're getting into. If a seller doesn't want to do any inspections and they're in a multiple offer situation, a buyer will do their own inspections. And if they find something, they're going to try to renegotiate pretty hard. But if you provide all of that information to multiple buyers before they submit their highest and best, you know that you're going to have a pretty solid deal because they know exactly what they're getting into. There's not going to be any surprises of a $20,000 foundation repair and they're going to ask for a subsequent discount. This just makes sure that you know what's going on with the property and the buyers know what they're getting into before they submit an offer. Number 9, leveraging strategic marketing. Anybody can post a video on social media, but that doesn't mean that anyone's going to see it. Maybe their mom, or their husband, or maybe their friend from high school that they haven't talked to in 10 years. But if you really want to get maximum exposure on your property, you're going to have to pay for that advertising. Facebook, Instagram, those are pay for play platforms. That's how I'm able to get 80,000 views on a listing because I put that in front of the right buyers by paying for it. Just because you put it on social media doesn't mean anyone's going to see it. So having a strategic marketing plan is really important. Number 10, highlight your home's best features. Every single home has a story, whether it's a great view or an awesome ADU in the backyard, a pool, or a recently remodeled kitchen. I will highlight these things in a really great listing video that will attract a lot of buyers. Number 11, navigate offers strategically. When I'm working with a seller, it's really important for me to understand their complete goals on what they're trying to achieve. For example, I had a seller that we were in multiple offer situation and they took a lower offer because the buyer was willing to let them stay in the property for 2 months rent-free until they found a new property. The higher offer did not want to do a lease back and they ended up accepting an offer that was less in price because of that specific term. It's really important to know that it's not always just about price. Is it about financing? Is it about the time of close of escrow? Is it about certain personal property that they want, that you want to keep or that you want to get rid of? There's so many different terms in an offer, and it's really important to understand your goals and communicate them with your real estate agent so they can negotiate on your behalf. Number 12, consider selling before buying or turning your home into a rental. Now, you own this property here in Los Angeles. It probably took a lot to get into the market. Sometimes you want to keep it as a rental property, and that's a great idea if you want to increase your long-term wealth. But how are you going to buy another property and turn that into a rental property? There's a lot of things that need to happen in that scenario, and I can connect you with the right lenders who will help you with that process. And if you need a property management company, I can also refer you to a good property manager who will take care of your rental while you live in another new fabulous place. And number 13, close the deal smoothly. There are a million moving parts when you're selling a house, from escrow to inspections to repair requests to movers to contractors, and a list goes on and on and on. My job is to make sure that all of those details are taken care of so you can have a smooth transaction and actually have a little fun during the process. And as I said before, I just updated my 2025 seller's guide. So if you want a free seller's guide, just click on the link down below and I'll email you over a PDF copy. My name is Felipecrook with eXp Realty, investing in your dreams.